Hi, Get the Gloss. I'm Dr. Sam Bunting, here today to help you tackle the troublesome topic of lip lines or barcode lines or smoker's lines, as they're often rather unpleasantly called. Now, basically we mean those vertical furrows that are often more visible when we're talking or animating in general, that can sometimes be associated with little breaks in the lip border, what we call the vermilion border. So we took some questions from you guys. Let's jump in. So let's look at your first questions on the topic of prevention, because guess what? With lip lines, prevention is better than cure. So Suwu asks, what's the best for overnight? Green Donkey asks, what are the best early prevention methods? And Rachel Tolls asks, is it true that drinking from a straw causes wrinkles? So let's break that down. So in terms of prevention, skincare is key. And I think about taking your daily vitamins, A, B, and C, and protecting from UV. Bit of rhyming there. So your retinoid goes on at night. Your vitamin C goes on in the morning to help combat the effect of environmental aggressors. And ideally, you can use niacinamide up to twice a day. And all of those ingredients will work together to preserve your precious collagen stores. That, combined with daily diligent UV protection using a broad spectrum sunscreen, is really key. Now, using your sunscreen correctly is a vital part of your prevention strategy, because I see so many people applying sunscreen without precision. So I developed a 13-dot technique: 3 dots here, 3 dots here, 3 dots here, 2 and 2, to help you make sure that you apply your sunscreen evenly when you're using what is actually quite a large amount. If you're using the right dose, we're talking about 1.25 mLs, a lot of product. However, if you want to get the number on the pack of your sunscreen, that's the way to do it. The thing about the 13-dot technique is you don't miss bits out. And I think so many people don't apply it all over. And guess what? The lip line is an area where you can miss out product. Another key consideration when you're using your retinoid at night is to prep your actual lip area beforehand, because retinoids can be drying. And I talk about a condition called retinoid lip, which is a distinctive chapped appearance from allowing your retinoid to creep on to the lip area when you're trying to tackle that delicate thin skin around the mouth. So do be sure to protect your lips with a barrier layer of lip balm. It's why we developed Flawless Lip, to actually repair your barrier so that you're fully protected and able to get all those great benefits from using your retinoid close to the lip line. So coming on to Rachel's question, how you use your lips is of great importance, because if you think about it, if you start using your lips like this and this from an early age, it is going to provide mechanical forces, particularly if you've got thin lips and a small mouth, that over time is going to continuously crease the skin. Think about this. It's the same. Think about smoking. You're pursing your lips over and over again. When you think about smoking, not only that, you're also getting the double whammy of all those toxins, which are going to encourage breakdown of collagen and weaken the skin from within. So managing your behavior is a critical part of preventing lip lines. Be conscious of how you move your lips, and just avoid straws or the kind of cups you get on a coffee to take away, and just use your lips in their normal, relaxed position when you're drinking beverages. And just for emphasis, in case you didn't get the point, smoking, disaster for lips. Don't do it. Next question from Amy Incubator Jones. Are there any facial exercises that can help with the first signs of lines? So going back to what we just said, I don't think there is anything you can do to prevent lines involving facial exercises. It's the very dynamic nature of our lips. We eat, we talk, we kiss, we pout, that encourages those fine lines to appear in the first place. So whilst I wouldn't suggest stopping doing any of those things, there's no exercise that's going to prevent that from happening in the long run. So now we come on to the treatment section. What can I do about vertical lines? And my top lip says Paphos Jewels, and somebody else Diddly21 says, I have levens on one side. So interesting. Usually we think about lines in the frown area, but I guess you can get them on the lips too. What's the best way to lessen them and avoid more? So it's key to break habits. So you can avoid straws, you cannot smoke, but if you are a natural kind of powder or a grimacer, and you know, we all have these little mannerisms, it really is important to be conscious of them, because if those continue, a bit like sleeping on your side, you're not going to be able to oppose those forces without intervention. There's just too much impact on the skin coming from that constant pressing effect of using the muscles around your mouth. So I think the key things to think about when you're breaking habits is, are you a candidate for microbotox? If we're thinking procedural, because lines that are visible, particularly when we're dynamic, when we're moving our lips, can be discouraged by tiny doses of Botox, most typically used in the top lip, which is the area that bothers people the most. And we can do treatments every 3 to 4 months to really try to break those pouting habits that in the end means that you don't necessarily need to keep Botox going long term. You've broken the habit, and with good skincare, and we should always have a good skincare regime to support improvement in existing wrinkles, you may find that it no longer bothers you. Now, if you've tried a couple of cycles of Botox around the mouth and that hasn't helped enough or hasn't helped you break the habit, the next thing to consider would be using dermal fillers. Particularly if you have a small mouth and you're starting, as I say, to see those little fine cracks in the lip line, or your lipstick is tending to bleed, you'll find that strengthening the vermilion border with a soft filler can improve the mechanics of your lips and make them more resistant to creasing. Filler can also be used to fill the tiny lines present above the lips. Again, has to be done, I would say, slowly, gently over a couple of sessions, because you don't want to over volumize the top lip. That can increase the length of the lip, which isn't a particularly attractive look. But small amounts over time can just help build the scaffolding in the dermis to support your lips and improve the appearance. So the final consideration is you have static lip lines, meaning they don't disappear when the skin is at rest and the mouth is quiet. The thing to think about then is whether or not you're up for resurfacing using what's called ablative lasers, typically CO2 or erbium YAG. Now, this is something that should only be done in the hands of somebody who has a lot of experience in this area, because you want to have a result that targets your problem area, but also if you're just treating this area, that is blended with the rest of your skin. And it isn't uncommon to find that there's just a lot of lines in the mouth area, but with actually completely fine textured skin over the cheeks. So that's an important consideration, but it's not for everyone, because downtime can be considerable. We're talking about 7 to 10 days for healing typically, and that's a hard thing to fit into anyone's schedule. You can also consider lower intensity treatments, things like microneedling, which again will build collagen in the surrounding tissues, but they'll probably have a less profound effect. Either way, go and see someone who knows what they're doing when it comes to lasers and other treatments, because a combined approach will often work best. So it's been a real pleasure taking your questions and helping you demystify the topic of lip lines. If you like this kind of content and want more tips and tricks on getting the most out of your skincare routine, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.